Thunder vs. Argus, bridge bashing behemoth. Coming into this fight, I'm sure many of you out there were basically thinking, this is the second to last guy, so let's just get him out of the way. I want to see the ending! But Argus is not gonna let it be anywhere near that easy. This guy has made it his life's mission to make sure he stops you here and now before that happens. The brick wall out for being the ultimate defense and possibly fall on you if the day's long enough, but... Hey Kaz! I just beat that first level you were egging on me to beat and now Wait a sec, are you videoing right now? Did I come at a bad time? Well, yes and no. I am videoing right now, but sit down and we can talk about that later. Like I was saying, listeners, Argus isn't going to be a pushover. He's going to be the final arduous hurdle to what you want most, the final boss. I'm sure that going across the overworld in your high hopes and discovering that it was easy to find this guy, that maybe there's not going to be anything to this guy. But unlike the 14th Colossus Bull, this guy is bigger than Valis and as tough as Gaius, being able to smash bridges with his face. And don't think he's covered in moss and crap like those other humanoids. This guy has been sleeping in a brick-filled hole isolated from nature's grasp, meaning he's as clean as the day he was built, minus 1 or 2 spots. Without those easy-to-grab plants, Wander has to find the way to the top, and this is where the brick wall metaphor comes hardest because the starting ledge is tantalizingly out of range from Wander. So, wait a minute. If the ledges are too tall for Wander to grab, then what the hell is he supposed to do besides getting crushed to death under Argus? Oh, but that's what the player needs to happen. See, this lordly hall where the battle takes place was built fancily, and thus there are skirting board panels on either side. Unfortunately, the decay of the world has led to the panels becoming unstable. If something large, like say Argus, were to drop onto the panels, then they would become like little seesaws, allowing Wander to get into the upper levels. And don't even think of letting down your guard. Argus is out for your blood, and he's got his fists to prove his intent. He will smash you through the walls you are inside of in order to splatter you against the back wall for his personal vengeance. These punches will lead to the falling of several blocks, useful for getting to the very top where there are 2 bridges available. Well, probably just one, since Argus broke the other one with his brick face. From here you can begin counterattacking Argus, and then beginning the old-fashioned ledge climb. But where his offensive capabilities are ridiculous, his defense is staggering as well. Argus will constantly be attempting to throw you off forcefully, leading to only tiny windows of opportunity for stabbing. But this is countered by the lack of Argus's foliage, meaning he only has one sigil to stab. On his head. The one complaint that people will hang over this fight is the fact that Argus's throw-offs are so difficult to break through that it'll lead to several unavoidable falls, leading to 10 minutes used to start over. So the usual restart of the Argus battle script is daunting, and the way that Wanderer gets up to the starting ledge feels a bit contrived, but overall this guy is a great example of the game not letting up just because the end is near, but instead putting up giant roadblocks to progress to make the player truly appreciate getting to the final challenge. Unfortunately for Argus, the comparison to the 16th Colossus is the only way that he attains any depth of zone as a boss character. But the proper discussion of that can come from final remarks held here on the wonderful scoreboard. Come on, Kaz. I want to see the scores too, damn it. Fine, Dan, just calm down. Here, can you see now? Yes. Thank you. Okay then, now that that's settled, let's get started. Gameplay. The way to get up to Argus's face told by the battle script is difficult, possibly painful, and annoyingly arduous to overtake, but it constantly keeps you in the action by requiring boosties from Argus, along with Argus constantly dogging the player's movements with his giant fists, along with the bridges being as fragile as chicken eggs in an earthquake when up against Argus's stonewall face, which completely disallows side traversal, leading to increased time wasting. But what can you ask from a late game boss other than being a great challenge all the way through, even if it has its quibbles? But for overall goodness, I will give Argus 8 2/3 Triforces for what he has done in challenging our preconceptions. Story. All but one are left, and it is his duty to protect the last of his kind from the likes of Wanderer. He's been practicing his moves, sleeping in a ditch just waiting for his final chance to smash Wanderer against a bridge support and finally end his reign of terrifying murder over the last 2 Colossi left in this world of fantasy. Argus really comes off as the knight who tasked himself solely with the vengeance for his fallen camaraderie by making this pest die by his hand alone. Even if he has only one weak spot, he will contend the fight with the best of his ability, which he did before being put down by the one who cannot be beaten, motivated only by the chance of love once more. Argus is probably one of the better ways to show how a game can tell a story without words, letting the player interpret after the fact with nothing to go on but his choice of weapon and overall feel. And for doing that greatly, I'm giving Argus 9 1/3 Triforces. Fun. This battle started badly when the only way forward was revealed after having the boss stomp at about 2 feet away from Wanderer. And just going on instinct, there was no way in hell a player would ever do that unless it was told to him that it was the only way to proceed to the top of Argus. But once you figure it out is the time that this boss truly shines after you have to personally figure a way to the top while Argus is savagely trying to locate you and punch you into a flat pancake. But then you get to the top and leap of faith your way onto Argus's brick of a head and stab him up while he's tossing you around harder than any other Colossus ever tried to do, making it even more difficult when you can see your final objective is inches away from your magic sword. The final cut, the final swath, the final Colossus is the only one left as the tumbling giant gets to leave this world with a 9 1/3 Triforces for being generally awesome. Argus tasked himself as the final mighty brick wall that was not only going to stop Wanderer from killing the last Colossus, but actually crush him under the heavy wave of falling masonry. Tons of death abounding on his stupid face, but like all bosses thinking this, the inevitable failure is just that much more biting, and leaves us with this honorable corpse worth an astounding 27 1/3 Triforces for being a great challenge and giving me something to think about. Okay, Dan, want to sign me off again? No, I just want you to tell me about the next level in my game. Okay, well it looks like I'm gonna have to help my roommate over here, but don't forget that it's all about the victory for gamers. See you later.